What is up, Insaners, and welcome to the final video of the Fantasy Premier League 2021-22 season. We've reached the end of the season, guys, and just one last roll of the dice left. Now we are here today to provide you with some last minute tips that should help you finalize your transfers for this week and end the season on a high. We've also done a free hit guide video which covers the best teams to target if you are on a free hit this week. Guys, that guide also covers some of the best free hit drafts for Game Week 38, so make sure you watch the video if you are on a free hit this week. I've added the links in the description below. Also, if you find today's video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, guys, and you can also subscribe to the channel as well. Before we start the video, guys, thank you so much again for your support throughout the season. I really appreciate it. Now let's start with the first question. What are the best Chelsea options this week? Now guys, we're entering Game Week 38, it's the final game week of the season. Of course, there's a lot of speculation around what would be the lineups for certain teams, and Chelsea is no exception, guys. By now we know that Tuchel has commented that there might be certain rotation in the Chelsea team. There might be some players who will be getting chances, who might start this game, especially the ones who have not had a lot of game time so far this season. Now that does really make things a bit difficult to predict in terms of what will be the Chelsea lineup against Watford. Now the reason we're talking about Chelsea is that because, guys, Chelsea is playing Watford. They're one of the worst teams in the league in terms of defense right now. Now which players to pick? I think if you still want to go towards Chelsea, Mount has to be the most safest, probably the most explosive option as well. Guys, one thing to note here is that Mount was rested in the game against Leicester City, so I'm pretty confident that he's going to start this one. To be honest, I cannot really say that about other players like James and Alonso. Of course, they probably come as the second and the third best Chelsea picks this week, but both of them come with a huge risk in terms of rotation, guys. Both of them can easily get rotated. So let's say if you are on a free hit, maybe you don't go towards them. There are some other options that you can go for. Maybe a Liverpool defense, maybe a double up in terms of Liverpool or even Man City. But I think if you have them in your team right now, they probably are a hold and you should not sell them this week. We should not forget that they have a high ceiling in terms of points. They can really give you those 10, 15, 20 point hauls, which could make or break, in fact, make your season this time around. So the best transfer is definitely Mount. You hold James and Alonso if you have them in your team. Even if you have both, just make sure that you have a decent bench to cover them off. Even on a free hit, guys, if you want to go there, you can still go there. But just make sure, as I said earlier, have a decent bench. So just in case if they don't start, you have somebody covering for you. In terms of other options like Havertz, Pulisic, even a Lukaku, guys, I think all of them are risky options. If I had to punt on somebody, I'll probably go Lukaku. But then again, in that price bracket, you have somebody like a Kane, even a Vardy, who probably are assured starters in their team for this week. As a regular transfer, I probably won't go towards Havertz or even Lukaku, but if I'm on a free hit, I'll definitely prefer Lukaku in the team. He's an absolute risk, guys, so in case if you're chasing and in case if you are on a free hit, go towards him, otherwise just leave him out. Now let's come to the next question. What to do with Liverpool assets? Guys, Liverpool also face a similar predicament in terms of which players might start for them this week. Now the main reason for that is they have a Champions League final coming against Real Madrid, and I think there could be some rotation in this game. Honestly, guys, I'm not expecting Klopp to hugely rotate in this game. I think we've spoken about this a lot of times. There needs to be some rhythm going into a big final like that, and I don't think so Klopp will rest majority of his team. Yes, there are doubts around Salah. If he's not fit, he's probably not going to start that one. He might just make a sub appearance. Even if he's slightly fit, guys, and if Klopp decides to play him, I'm pretty sure Salah is not going to play 90 minutes, so the risk is definitely there. Now starting with Salah, guys, and if you have Salah, it totally depends on the game state in terms of what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to achieve a better rank? Maybe you're trying to protect rank or protect a mini league, and basis on that, you take a call on Salah. I really think there's an opportunity here. You can jump onto the likes of Son, even if you're trying to protect rank, and then probably even captain him. Salah is a lot of money, guys, and if we get some news around Salah starting for sure, then maybe you keep him. But in every other scenario, guys, I think you should sell Salah. I say this with a word of caution, guys. I understand that Salah can still hurt your rank, but then that's a slight risk that you take. Personally, I don't think so it'll be a huge risk if you can cover yourself with a Son. So based on your objective, guys, take that call. Coming to other players like Mane and Diaz, guys, I think if you want to replace Salah, these are perfectly good options. But they again, even if they start, and I'm pretty confident about both of them starting this one, they might not end up with 90 minutes. I understand that they could still do damage to a Wolves team who are really bad defensively at the moment, who are not going anywhere in terms of defense. So Mane and Diaz, they can both hurt Wolves, but again, they might not give you 90 minutes, so keep that in mind. If you still want to go Salah to a Mane or to a Diaz, I think both of them are really good options, but if I had to pick one right now guys, I think Mane is an explosive differential at the moment. Putting things in perspective here guys, he has a wonderful record in game week 38 in the past seasons, and I think he could still do well this week. So if you want to go differential captain, if you are chasing massively, if you're falling behind or if you're really behind in your mini leagues, and you want to target one last push, I think Mane as a transfer and captaincy could really turn out well. Talking about the defenders like Trent and Robertson guys, I think both of them start, so if you have them in your team, I think you should hold on to them. And if you're playing a slightly safer game in terms of a free hit team, I think a double up with Trent and Robertson could also be pretty good. Yes, there's still a slight chance that maybe Trent, maybe he gets off early, maybe he's not starting the game. That's absolutely there guys, anything can happen in the final day of the season. But I think I'm pretty confident that both the defenders, Trent and Robertson, they start this one. Now let's talk about the next question. What are the best midfielders to target this week? I think the conversation is pretty clear guys. In case you are trying to play safe, trying to protect rank, then you should absolutely go Son and captain him. But if you are chasing, then there's a whole other conversation that kind of starts where you can target different picks here. The next most explosive option probably could be Mason Mount guys, who's a pretty much short starter this week. I think he definitely starts this game, and against a Watford team guys, he can absolutely go explosive. We've seen his double-digit haul potential guys. I think he's had about 5 or 6 double-digit hauls this season, so the explosivity is definitely there. And if you are chasing, I think Mason Mount as a transfer and then even captaincy on him could be really good. Other options include Maddison and Bowen guys. Again, Maddison is slightly safer. Yes, there's a slight chance that he might not start. He's played a lot of games recently and he came back from injury, so he might get some rest. But then again, if you are playing a bit safer, if you maybe are on a free hit, then you do this to protect your rank. In case if you want to chase and if you want to go a bit differential, I think Bowen is already one of the most popular transfers this week, but I'm personally not too bullish on him. I think he can still do well. I mean, he's in great form at the moment, but he's playing a Brighton team guys who are a decent team. They are a decent defense. They don't concede a lot of goals. Having said that, Bowen is still playing really well. West Ham also have a chance in finishing in that Europa League spot guys, and I think they will definitely go for it and challenge United for that last spot. If there was one player from West Ham guys, it has to be Bowen, who's single-handedly taken them to deeper lengths in this season guys, and you can definitely go for him this week. In terms of Man City guys, I still feel KDB is the best option out there, but he probably might not be the best transfer in this week. Of course, he's a lot of value, he's a lot of money, so if you have to alter your squad, do a lot of changes, then I don't recommend KB in this week, but if he's in your team, you should definitely hold him. Of course, unless you're trying to protect rank, you're trying to maybe cover off your rival with a player like Son. There are a few names as well like Zaha, like Eriksen, and we'll talk about Eriksen in the next question guys, but I think these are also good differentials to go for if you are chasing this week. Now let's come to the next question. What are the best players to target if you're chasing rank this week? Now guys, there are not a lot of defenders to target this week because game week 38 is generally a lot of goals. Teams playing at home, maybe even away games, they don't keep a lot of clean sheets. We see an average number of goals increasing by a hell lot this particular week as compared to the rest of the season, and I don't think so this game week would be any different. Having said that guys, you can still go for a Sessegnon from Tottenham. There's only one situation I might not suggest this transfer. In case if he's already out of the fixture, in case we get some news that he's not playing, he's probably not in the squad, then that's the only reason I'll probably suggest you to not take him. But I think if you're looking for a cheap defender, if you're looking for a playing defender who's definitely going to start this week, who has a haul potential, and you're trying to get in players in the midfield or in attack to boost your rank, I think he's a great budget enabler this week. He's playing against Norwich, who are the worst team in the Premier League. They're already relegated. I don't think so there'll be a lot to play for in terms of the Norwich team. But Spurs on the other hand guys, they have to win this game to finish in the top 4 position, and I think it's a really important game, and with Reguilon especially out, I don't think so Sessegnon missed this one. Because of the fixture difficulty guys, I think it definitely means a clean sheet. I mean, it looks like a clean sheet, and there could be some attacking returns for Sessegnon as well. I think he's a great pick, especially if you want to go big in attack. Coming to the next option, we have Christian Eriksen guys. He's facing Leeds, who are the worst defense in the league, and they generally struggle to defend set pieces. Now he's on them for the Brentford team, and he has to be their most creative player right now guys. He's creating a lot of chances. In fact, his chance creation numbers over the past few weeks, they are as good as a Kevin De Bruyne. and I think he's a really good option to go for if you're looking for a cheap budget differential. His ceiling might not be as high as other picks, guys, but if you're looking for a budget mid, as I said, I think he's right up there. Now, in terms of differentials, guys, I think Bowen could also be a great option. I'm not sure how much of a differential he would be because he's already one of the most, in fact, the most popular transfer this week. So there'll be a fair few amount of people who would be having Bowen in the team, especially the ones who are on a free hit, guys. I think Bowen for them would be an easy move. So maybe he's not as close to, let's say, a Sessegnon, maybe even an Eriksson in terms of the differential factor, but I still feel he's a great option. He's still going to be comparatively lesser owned than other players, and I think if you're trying to chase rank, Bowen is a good option. A lot of managers would have the likes of Kulusevski, maybe even Madison, and I don't think so they will take them out just to get in Bowen. So that's the advantage for you guys. Definitely go Bowen if you are slightly playing a bit safer, but you're also chasing rank. Now, in terms of other picks, you can also go for forwards like Lukaku and Wilson, guys. Of course, they both are at the opposite end of the price spectrum. But Lukaku, yes, he's a very expensive option. In case if you don't want to go Kane, in case if you don't want to play very safe, you can also go for Lukaku, who has a decent chance of starting this game. A lot of you might argue that he's played a lot of games for Chelsea and he might not start. And that's a completely valid argument, guys. But I think because of the injury to Werner, because of Havertz maybe not match fit at the moment, I think Lukaku gets a nod in this one. He's been in great form, he's playing well, he can score goals, we know that. Yes, he's struggled through the season, but I think for just a 1 week punt, Lukaku is not a bad option. In case if you're not convinced by Lukaku, maybe you don't have the money, maybe you have to make additional transfers, take additional hits for him, then you can also go for Wilson, who's very cheap when compared to Lukaku, guys. He's a perfect replacement for somebody like a Dennis. Let's say if you have a Dennis, maybe an Adams in your team right now, you can easily switch to Wilson and get that 1 week differential factor. Wilson played really well. Yes, I know that he didn't get a return against Arsenal, guys, but I think he played really well. He should have scored a goal, maybe even 2 goals. And against a Burnley side, yes, I know it might be a bit tricky. Burnley will try to sit back. Depending on the Leeds result, I think they will alter the game. But I generally think Wilson in the Newcastle team makes the Newcastle team a lot better. And I think Wilson, whenever he plays, he has an explosivity factor in him, guys. And I think if you're looking for an explosive differential, somebody who could really make you jump ranks, I think Wilson is also a great option. I've considered Wilson over the likes of Tony, guys, because I think Tony will be a lot higher owned and he might not give you the right rank boost that you're looking for. Now, when I say that, guys, by no means Ivan Toney is a bad option, but he's slightly safer. I think he's a great option if you want to play a second cheap striker and protect rank. Now, guys, let's come to the final question of this video, the final question of the season, guys. How to play if you are chasing or protecting a mini league lead. Now, we'll start with how to chase rank if you are trying to chase your rivals, if you're trying to beat them in your mini leagues. Now, how to do that? I think if you want to do that, you'll probably have to bet against a template. Now, there is a potential upside with a few picks here, and you have to target the major chasing horns. Keep in mind, guys, that it comes with a few risks, and you might end up losing rank. But at this moment, if you are trying to gain rank, if you're trying to beat your mini league rivals, it's just 1 week, guys. Why not take that chance? Why not take that risk and go with your gut? Now, if you're chasing rank, keep these pointers in mind, guys. I think you have to look at your current set of players and assess who can haul this week. I know that there could be popular players like Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, Saka. They all have haul potential this week, but they might not give you a huge rank boost. In terms of attack, guys, I think you'll have to keep the Tottenham attackers in mind. Triple Tottenham attack could be a differential in itself. So if you can afford a Kane plus a Son and a Kulusevski, I think that could be a great differential. All these 3 players have decent ownership, guys, so they're not differential in isolation. But I think if you own them together, you get a good set of attackers, probably playing the worst team in the league. So that is definitely a good fixture to target. In case if you want to go even heavy in terms of differentials, guys, and if you have somebody like a Salah, for example, then you take a Mane, maybe you go for a Diaz. They are great differentials. Yes, there could be some rotation risks. Yes, there could be some managed minutes. But I don't think so. Let's say if your rival is leading in the mini league, he's probably not going to take these risks. And he's probably going to play a bit safer with somebody like a Son. In case if you already have a Son, you go towards a Mane or a Diaz. In case if you don't have a Son, then you have to take a call where to go a bit safer and then protect your place with a Son, or just ignore Son and try to cover up those points with a Mane or a Diaz. If you want to differentiate, I'm sure a lot of people would also have Chelsea players like James, Alonso, maybe even Mount. But if you want to differentiate, if you really want to get yourself out there, I think Lukaku is a great option. In general, I feel if you're chasing rank, you'll have to play slightly against a template, you'll have to bet against certain players not scoring and take a chance. It might come off, it might not come off guys, but then you'll have to take that call. Overall, I feel if you are chasing, you'll have to go a bit different than your mini league rivals, than your mini league leaders. And as I said earlier, chase against the template. Now what happens in the second point where you have to defeat your mini league rivals? I think there's a certain categorization to this. Now in case if you are in second place, maybe even lower, and you're trying to beat your mini league rivals, then the first thing that you'll have to see is that how far are you from your mini league rival or leader. Guys, if you're around 15 to 20 points behind, then I think this could be hunted with a differential punt. You necessarily don't have to go for a differential captain, a very risky captain. Maybe you can go for a captain like Son, have a differential punt in place. If it's more than 20 points, then I think you'll have to probably go with one or two differential options, one or two different players who are less owned, and I think in this case, you definitely have to captain a slightly less safe option. Maybe you go Kane, maybe you go Mount, you can even go for KDB, who I think will be captained by a fair amount of people, but then they'll be a lot lesser than somebody like a Son. Now in the final scenario guys, if you are more than 40 points behind, I think you'll have to take a chance with 2 or 3 differential players, maybe even more, have players that are not there in your mini league rivals team. And then I think the best scenario here is that you captain a player which your mini league rival doesn't own, and you just hope that he goes big guys, fingers crossed, and then just see the magic happening. Now there's an absolute chance that nothing of this sort works out guys, and you might not end up beating them, but you have to give it a shot, you have to give it a chance. And with that guys, I think you should have some fun. So that's all from my side guys. I hope I was able to give you clarity in terms of your final moves and teams for Game Week 38. Do smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well guys. Now we'll be back for the deadline stream, for the final deadline stream of the season guys. It's gonna be a long one. There'll be a lot of information available guys in terms of any leaked lineups, in terms of any injuries or anything that can help you place a better 11. So make sure you join us for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Saners next season.